things are going this way, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. Even down to my travel, I'm like, oh, if it's like off, that flight ain't for me, or this ain't for me. Like,
you know, so then that was kind of like, hold up. You know what I'm saying? What's going on here? And
did that make you want to be a rapper more, or make you want to make money to get it back?
Nah.
No. I'm not with him.
No.
Oh. Yeah. Not by choice, but, you know, I respect.
Stop scrolling, because what I'm about to tell you is the moment that flipped the entire internet upside down. Angela Simmons, the woman Yo Gotti chased for years, the woman he rapped about, dreamed about, and eventually one just stepped out with a brand new man. And the way Yo Gotti reacted has fans calling it one of the most humiliating moments of his career. The cameras flashed. Social media exploded. Within minutes, the heartbreak of a rap legend was trending worldwide. But here's the thing, this isn't just about Angela moving on. No, this is about how a love story that once felt like a fairy tale unraveled into betrayal, tears, and a very public downfall that Yo Gotti never saw coming. It all started years ago when Yo Gotti wasn't just another rapper with a crush. He was a man on a mission. In his music, he name-dropped Angela Simmons, letting the world know he wanted her. He didn't hide it, he manifested it. For years, it became almost a running joke in the industry. Yo Gotti loves Angela. Fans laughed, they cheered, and surprisingly, they rooted for him. Because there was something rare about seeing a rapper openly admit he had feelings for someone who seemed so far out of reach. And then, like something ripped out of a Hollywood script, Gotti actually got her. Angela Simmons, daughter of Run DMC's Rev Run, reality star, businesswoman, and one of the most talked about women in hip-hop culture, finally gave him a chance. When the news broke that the two were officially dating, the internet lost its mind. People couldn't believe it. Yo Gotti's dream girl had become his real-life girlfriend. For a while, everything looked perfect. The couple appeared together at events, smiling for the cameras, holding hands, looking very much in love. Fans celebrated Yo Gotti like he had just won the lottery. After all those years of chasing and rapping about her, he had finally manifested the woman of his dreams. But as is often the case with love stories in the spotlight, what the cameras captured wasn't the whole truth. Behind the glossy smiles and Instagram-worthy pictures, cracks began to form. People close to the couple whispered that Angela wanted stability. She wanted commitment. She wanted peace. And while Yo Gotti clearly loved her, he was married to the grind, touring, chasing deals, living the life of a superstar. At first, Angela played along. She supported him, showed up, smiled, and gave the relationship her all. But slowly, things began to change. Fans noticed the shift. The couple wasn't posting together as much. Angela started leaving cryptic captions about valuing her peace and choosing happiness. Meanwhile, Gotti seemed to brush off the tension, moving as if everything was fine. But everything wasn't fine. Then came the moment that no one expected. Angela Simmons stepped out in public with a new man. And not just any man, someone who seemed to be Yo Gotti's exact opposite. Low-key, grounded, supportive, and making her smile in a way people hadn't seen in years. Cameras caught them hand in hand, laughing together, Angela glowing as if a weight had been lifted off her shoulders. That single picture, Angela Simmons and her new man, was enough to set the internet on fire. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, every platform erupted with memes, debates, and reactions. Some fans were shocked. Others cheered Angela on, calling it queen energy for finally choosing herself. But many turned their eyes to Yo Gotti. How was the man who had openly chased Angela for so long going to handle such a public blow? And then came Gotti's reaction, or at least what fans believed was his reaction. He didn't mention Angela's name, but his post spoke volumes. A black and white selfie with the caption, "Some things ain't worth the pain," a story that simply read, "Be careful who you love." It wasn't much, but to fans, it said everything. Yo Gotti was hurting. The timing couldn't have been worse. People began to replay his old songs, his lyrics about Angela, the interviews where he proudly admitted how much she meant to him. Suddenly, those clips felt haunting. Sources whispered that Yo Gotti was blindsided. He didn't think it was over. He believed they just needed time, maybe space, but that eventually, they'd work it out. To see Angela smiling with someone else felt like a punch to the chest. Friends noticed the change. Gotti was quieter, more withdrawn, not his usual confident self. At a recent public appearance, Fans commented that he looked different, less lively, more weighed down, like the joy had been drained out of him. And the internet, instead of offering sympathy, mocked him. Memes flooded social media, dragging him for chasing Angela for years, finally winning her, only to lose her in the end. But not everyone was cruel. Some defended him, saying Angela knew how deeply he loved her and that stepping out so publicly with a new man wasn't necessary. Others argued that Angela had every right to move on if she wasn't happy. The internet split into two camps, Team Angela and Team Gotti. And as the debates grew louder, the story only became bigger. Angela herself didn't stay completely silent. Through subtle interviews and Instagram lives, she made her position clear without disrespecting Gotti. She implied she was done with drama. She wanted peace, stability, and support. And though she never shaded him directly, the message was undeniable. Yo Gotti couldn't give her what she needed. Her new man, however, did, and that made her shine even brighter. For Gotti, the fallout wasn't just emotional, it was professional. What began as a love story turned into an internet circus, with him as the main attraction. Instead of trending for music, he was trending for heartbreak. Instead of fans quoting his lyrics, they were quoting Angela's new chapter. And the whispers became headlines. At his concerts, something devastating happened. Fans didn't just chant his name, they screamed hers. Angela's name echoed from the crowd like a ghost he couldn't silence. For a man who built his empire on control, power, and always being that guy, this was the one battle he couldn't win. This wasn't just any woman. This was the woman he had manifested in songs, the woman he'd spoken about for years, the one he pursued with patience and persistence. Finally, getting her felt like the ultimate victory. But the fairy tale had no Hollywood ending. Instead, it collapsed before millions of eyes. Those close to Gotti say he's devastated. And not the loud, dramatic kind of hurt, but the quiet, soul-crushing kind. The kind that lingers in silence. He's not posting like he used to. No more cryptic captions. No subtle lyrics aimed at Angela. Instead, he's moving cautiously, more guarded than ever. In interviews, he sidesteps questions about love. His smile doesn't shine like it once did. His energy, once confident and carefree, now carries a shadow. Behind closed doors, friends say he wrestles with questions that haunt him. Should he fight for her, or walk away with what dignity he has left? Was he too public, too confident, too sure of her? Or was she simply never his to keep? The questions burn more deeply than the memes. Meanwhile, Angela seems unbothered. She's glowing, smiling, posting, moving forward, or at least pretending to. Some fans call it a rebound. Others say it's her finally choosing herself. Either way, her new relationship has the spotlight, while Yo Gotti is painted as the one who lost. But people forget this isn't just a breakup. This is about a man who dared to dream out loud. A man who turned a fantasy into reality, only to watch it crumble in front of millions. Now fans wonder, will Gotti spin this pain into music? Will he deliver a heartbreak anthem that sets the internet ablaze? Or will he retreat into silence, healing privately and letting time dull the sting? Everyone wants answers. Does he still text her? Does he still believe in the love story he once rapped about? Or has he finally accepted the truth that not every love is meant to last forever? Maybe Angela was just a chapter, not the whole book. Maybe the lesson here isn't about winning, it's about losing. Because sometimes the greatest battles aren't fought in boardrooms or on stages. They're fought in the heart. And no matter how much money, fame, or power you have, love has a way of humbling you. One thing is certain, Yo Gotti will never love the same again. And Angela Simmons? She's already writing her next chapter.